Why are we always broke? Budgeting. It sounds stupid, it sounds simplistic, but once I started budgeting, I knew exactly where all my money was going. I saw how much money I was spending, and I was like, holy shit, like, how am I spending all this money? Because, like, I was doing fine financially, but I felt like I was always living paycheck to paycheck. And that was because I didn't know where all my money was going. I was spending it like every single penny I made, I spent it all because I knew I was going to make more and I knew where it came from. And I just never thought about anything else. And I invested a little bit here and there, right? I had debt, I had a car, all that great stuff, I had an apartment on the water. And then I realized I was spending too much money, because the best thing about budgeting is until you actually know where your money's going, you can't stop. You can't change that habit, because money is also a habit. Everything in the mind is habit. Why do we spend more money than we make? It's habit. You see something on Amazon, you really want it, you buy it. You can afford a car loan, you go and buy it. You can afford the monthly payment, you buy it, right? That's what we're told. That's what we're taught. It's also what we're taught. We're taught this stuff. This stuff is ingrained in our subconscious. A lot of people nowadays, instead of saving cash to buy a car, you get a loan because it's instant gratification. I know I can get a loan, I can afford the payment, and I can get it now. And what a lot of, like the boomer generation, I know they get a lot of shit, and a lot of people are irritated that, they're doing pretty well financially compared to, the younger generations and like my generation. But you gotta realize those people did all this stuff. They budgeted. They actually didn't go out and get loans on cars for $50,000. They saved up and got a car that might have been 10 years old. That's how they lived. They lived very frugally. I know a lot of boomers that have done that. And now I know that they've worked their ass off and now they have a good $1.5 million in their 401k, right? So that's what you have to do. And I know this is, this is your grandma's advice type stuff, but it works. It's worked for them. It can work for you. The thing is nowadays is we got so much stuff being sold to us every single day. We have more things to buy than the previous generation. So now nonstop, everything's in your face. They're selling you credit cards at 30% interest. They're giving everybody with the Pulse a car loan, especially also a housing loan. And all these people are in debt up to their eyeballs because that's just what you're taught. You don't know any better. Let's be real. Most of us don't know any better. I didn't know any better until I learned about this stuff. And I was like, oh, wow. And the biggest thing is information. If you don't have the information of this stuff, you can't change. You have to be aware of it though. And the thing is, some people were so ingrained in our own beliefs and everything that we thought we knew, it's hard for us to change. Like I could be telling you information that you know is right, but because it goes against everything you know, you're still going to be pissed off. And I don't blame you. I would too. When I have something going against my belief system, even if I know it's right, I get mad because I'm like, damn, like if this is real, have I really been lied to all my life about this? And that's finance nowadays, because guess who runs finance? The banks, dude. The banks. You know what? Everybody wants to get you in debt. The banks. They make all that money off you, right? Yeah, they exist for a reason, but I'm also saying this, you were lied to all the time. Credit cards, for instance, are the biggest marketed product on the planet ever. I think they spend something like $10 billion a year just marketing credit cards. Americans are over, I think, $1.5 trillion, maybe more than that, in credit card debt, the highest ever. It might be $1 trillion. I think it's $1 trillion. And people are just using more and more and more and more debt. And you gotta wonder why. And everybody uses credit cards. Let's be real. I use credit cards. Not as much anymore. The only time I use it is for renting a car or a hotel room. That's the only time I use it, because everything's behavior and the credit card companies know that. So with behavior, they know you're going to spend more money than you expect to, because that money is right there. That is yours right now. You can spend that money right now, and then down the line you have to worry about it. You know, hopefully you pay it off in 30 days. Next thing you know, you're running up more money on a credit card. You're scientifically going to run up more money on a credit card than a debit card or cash, because once it's linked directly to you, you feel that. And you're like, geez, like I just spent $300. But if it's on a credit card, it's not linked to any of your stuff. You don't even see it. The next thing you know, you're like, oh shit, I got $300 in credit card debt right now. And that's what I did. I had $10,000 in credit card debt twice, because I never changed my behavior. I paid off once, had the same behavior, was spending more money than I was supposed to, and racked it up again. And a lot of people are like that. And that's just what we've been taught. So that's what we use. But I'm trying to tell you a different way. I mean, yeah, it's not all bright and sunshine and, you know, like a debt is, but there's ways to save up, right? So right now I have a 2022 Honda Accord, got it on debt, right? It's 4% interest for 75 months. 75 months, that's crazy. So when I've learned about this stuff, I paid off in 22 months. What I do now with my car is I save $10,000 a year. And it's a percentage of what I make, and I save that. So what I do now is whatever I make, I figure out how much percent of that needs to go towards a car. How much of that needs to go towards, what if I have a dentist emergency and I need to spend $3,000 on crowns? Because that's happened to me. I spent $4,000 in 1 year on my teeth, okay? And how many of you are ready for that? I wasn't. I'm sitting now, again, I still have another $2,000 that they want me to spend at the dentist. And I don't need it right now, so I'm not doing it, but I'm saving a portion of everything I make, every paycheck, and I put that towards that. So if you want to save for a new car, you're like, okay, I want a new car in 3 years. Whatever it is, you put that amount aside every single week from your paycheck. So I put right now, and I'm in a very blessed position, so I know not everybody can do this. And I did try very hard to get to that point. Like I cut a lot of expenses. I was living on the water, and now I'm in a studio apartment. So I did a lot of that to be able to do what I'm doing now. And I save 50% of everything I make, and it goes straight into my investment account. And that 50%, I know I don't have to worry about anything. That 50%, some of it will go towards a car, some of it will go towards investing, some of it will go for my taxes that I have to pay, and some of it will go for emergencies like my teeth. And if you can budget for stuff like that, you will never have to worry about money, for the most part. Like, you would never have to worry about money. If you're like, okay, I need to save $10,000 a year, and I need to take so much out of my paycheck, and that will make me comfortable. So if anything ever happens, I got 10 grand in the bank. I got 10 grand. So it's just very simple. It's saving, and it's knowing where all your money is going. Because if you don't know where your money is going, if you don't know where your money's going, it's going to disappear, and it's going to elude you, and you'll never have money. Because if you cared about your money, you would know where it's going. And a lot of people don't want to talk about money because everybody has a belief about money, right? Like, rich people are bad, for instance, or, you know, you can never get ahead. Every negative belief system you have about money is getting in your way. I'm really giving you information here right now that can help you, but it's up to you to do it. And I want to help you do this because if I was still in the position I was in, I would be so much more miserable right now. I would have been in a very tough position, and this took me a long time to get to. It took me 6 months to completely get out of debt. I cut my expenses by half. I don't have impulses to buy a bunch of random shit every day. Are the impulses there? Hell yeah, they are. They're always gonna be there. But you're just like, but this is gonna take away from my future money. This is gonna cause me stress. Every day I wake up now, I have like no stress. I have no stress. I'm just like, I don't even have to work as hard this week, right? I'm self-employed. I can work as much or as little as I want. I don't have to worry about anything. The other thing is I got special insurance, and it's cheap as hell. I got insurance where if something happens to me and I go to a hospital, let's say I get hit by a car and I'm put in the hospital, I have a certain insurance that would actually pay me per day to be in the hospital. And then if something happens, like my leg breaks, they'll pay me a certain amount of money. So it's just getting yourself set up for protection. So I have that. I have health insurance. And the other thing is my deductible is $8,500 for my health insurance. So I'm going to save up long term to put apart $8,500 there. So if anything ever happens there, I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine? You get hit by a car tomorrow, right? You're at $8,500 because you're in the hospital room for 3 weeks. Now you're protected. It's great. It was like literally cost me $15 a month. I'm not even kidding. And then if I have accidental death benefit, it goes to my parents. It's $100,000 if I accidentally die. So it's just very good to be protected money-wise. But again, Rocket Money. That's the app I use. It tells you where your money's going, how much you spent this week, how much you spent today, how much you spent this month. It shows you everything. It even shows your net worth, how much debt you have to how much equity you have. Again, guys, this stuff is just awesome information it came across, and it's helped me a lot. I'm in a way better position now. And again, this stuff is habitual. This is habits. We're talking habits. Money is habits. If I talk about something and it might not make sense, it's because it's about a habit over, for instance, like if you're going to pay off debt, you want to pay off the smallest amount of debt first. And you're going to be like, no, you want to pay off the highest percentage of the APR rate, the highest APR rate first, the highest interest rate first. But no, because if you pay off that small amount, you'll get that reward center in your brain instantly, and you'll be like, oh wow, I'm doing really good. But if you take forever on one, you'll start to lose interest and you probably will stop. So again, a lot of stuff is habitual. Most stuff, everything with money is habits. And we're not aware of these habits too. Like you could get stressed out and that's why you go shopping. Because it gives off the reward centers in your brain when you spend money. So a lot of people, do shop therapy, and you got to realize that you're having that problem. You also got to look within yourself too and be like, okay, there's a reason why I'm spending this much money. How can I stop this? And you got to be grateful. So a lot of people who are talking about, cutting a lot of expenses. Yes, you want to cut your expenses, but you also want to make more money. You want to find ways to make more money too. The other thing is you need to be grateful for what you have now, because the reason why you're spending too much money is because you're not being grateful for what you have now. Because if you did, you wouldn't have the need to go and spend more money on things. And there's ways how we can cut expenses. I know there's a lot of people out there that have cut a lot of expenses and they're still not doing that great. And what I would say is, you will do better in the future. Just focus right now on being grateful for what you have now, because if you are grateful for what you have now, more things will come to you now. Because if you're not grateful for what you have now, more will be taken from you. And I don't think you want to lose anymore, because I went through that too. I was not grateful for a lot of things, and that's when I was living the whole paycheck to paycheck thing. And then I was like, really went within myself and started studying this stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I started being more grateful for things, especially cutting, dude. I had to cut a lot of expenses. I really put myself, like, I'm a cheapskate right now. I'm cheap. I live in a studio apartment right now. That's very, very, very inexpensive. And I'm a lot happier, actually. It's because I know what I want. I know where I'm going. I know I'm going to be financially free in the future. I have no debt. I feel like I know the money game. So I don't feel like I have to worry about money right now. I mean, yeah, do I have to work every day? Yeah, I have to work every day. We all do. But I know financially that I'll be fine. So that's like a huge stressor because I feel like most stress comes from money. So if you can just do some of the things I taught you today, hopefully that'll help you and you'll be way better off. And you'll be like, you know, I'm going to listen to this channel a little bit more because this stuff makes sense. And I'm in a way better position. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. Like and subscribe and comment below. I'm rich. Comment below. I'm rich. Have a nice one, guys.